We have Mas Jadatul, Mas Aiman. Yeah, very good afternoon, everyone. Alhamdulillah, we meet again in this afternoon. We will discuss about how to write a research proposal as a schedule from Mr. Amin, Associate Professor Aminuddin Hasan, and me. Have prepared about how to write a research proposal for we discuss today. I'm sorry. First, we admit all, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, one more. When we are students in university, of course, we should fulfill all requirements when we will finish our study. For example, fulfill many tasks in lectures, and of course, we should finish our research, that is thesis or dissertation, and of course we should publish a research paper or publish a research result for our paper. In Indonesia, for master degree, we should minimal one paper to be submit in journal, international journal indexed by Scopus. How about in UPM? Is there any requirement to submit a research paper? Hello, Ms. Jiva. Is there any requirement for students to publish research paper or publish research result in international journal? Hello?
For PhD students.
Yeah, for students.
Only for PhD students only, not for master students.
Oh yeah. There is no requirement for master students?
Master, no.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you save, yeah, because there's a challenge to publish a research paper in our country. And then we conducting a research and publishing research. There are many steps. The first step is, of course, write research proposal, as you have done, yeah, in this lecture. And then after write a research proposal, we should prepare a research instrument, and then we should publish a research article. And then after we have a report, we should write report and write a research paper for publishing our result. And then in this afternoon, we will discuss about how to write research proposal and how to prepare manuscript for research paper. And this PowerPoint, yeah, we will prepare from many sources. This one from Spencer Gibson, Bianca Verlinden, and many methodology books, and of course, it based on our self-experience in conducting research and publishing research results. First, we we will make a definition about a research proposal. Many experts in methodology books define that a research proposal is our plan about research that will be conduct. It describes in detail our study, and it is a decision about our study based on the quality of proposal, and also based on our proposal, we can get approvals to proceed by institutional review board, or we say ERB, or committee in your department. And then what is the importance of a research proposal? Some of students ask for me, why should we write a research proposal? The first one, for students, using the proposal, we make a preparation. Using this preparation, if we have many plan, we will conduct our plan easily. Without plan, maybe we can do something difficultly. And the second important why we should write a research proposal is this proposal serves to protect the student. Using proposal, it demand additional requirements, and then proposal protect to the committee from the student. Using a proposal, we can make a monitoring, we can make a delivering a degree of poor quality. We avoid a poor quality using the based on research proposal. Sometimes we ask too about what is the purpose of why we write a thesis or dissertation proposal. The purpose of thesis proposal, first we justify and plan a research project, and then we can show how your project contributes to existing research. And then using proposal, we can demonstrate that you understand how to conduct discipline as a specific research and in acceptable time frame. And the audience of our research dissertation is our academic advisors and committee. And then when we say about content of research proposal, the first one is what you intend to study. When we say what is the intent of our research proposal, we can say it about scope and research question. And the second question about content is how you intend to study your topic, or we say methodology. And the third one, why this topic need to be studied, or we can say the significance of our research. And the fourth, when you will complete this work, or we say a schedule or timeline. And the fifth one, where you will conduct this work, or occasionally. This is five content about our research proposal that should we describe in the proposal project. And then about ingredient, or three essential things in research proposal. The first one is about issue, and the second one about benefit, and then the third one about research design. The issue is related with what problem does your research address, and then the benefit is what will the research contribute. Some of us sometimes ask about this. What is our research contribution? Is there any contribution of our research? Sometimes we ask for ourselves like that. And then about research design, we focus on how will the research achieve its objective. This about the third question is about methodology. And some of you have collect the proposal, and of course there are parts of the research proposal start in title, then abstract, then introduction or background, problem statement, purpose or aims or rationale or research question, and then we conduct a review of literature, and then methodology, significance or implications of our research, and then our overview of chapters, plan of work, and then the last one, bibliography. We discuss first about title. The title is name of our article. It address address of searching about the research focus or variables of our research, and then that we say the title as a mini abstract that describing our research problem. From the title, we can get what is will we can get when we read this paper, or we get from this research result. It described from the title, and the title should be clear in order to we can understand all of what we will write in the research. When we creating a working title, we should orient our readers to the research topic, and then we can indicate the type of study that we will conduct. For example, for this case that we have right now about role of teachers in online learning during pandemic period. And then, for example, factors influence literacy proficiency in many countries based on PISA international study. From this example, we can, what is the research topic? What is the indicate type of our study? We can get it from the title. And the second part of research proposal is about abstract. When we write abstract, we provide a brief overview of the proposal, and sometimes we write about 100 and more words to express our abstract. And then from the abstract, we get summarized important elements such as introduction, statement of the problem, background of the study, research questions or hypotheses, and methods and procedures. In introduction, we establish the general territory, of course, the real world or research. And then in introduction, we can describe the broad foundation of our study, to provide a sufficient background for readers. And then in the introduction or background, we can indicate the general scope of our project. And of course, we can provide an overview of the sections that will appear in your study. The fourth is optional. And then, of course, in introduction, we can engage the readers. Why should the readers should read this proposal or this research? The next part of our research proposal is problem statement. Welcome, Yit. Yeah. Very good afternoon. Problem statement is a research focus. We write the problem statement to make a blueprint for our literature review, and using research focus we can focus our committee at beginning study, and we can keep them on track throughout our research proposal. And then from statement of the problem, actually we can answer the question, what is the gap that needs to be filled, or what is the problem needs to be solved? In the research proposal, state the problem clearly early in a paragraph. And then from the statement of the problem, we can limit the variables that we address in starting our problem or question. And also from statement of the problem, consider framing the problem as a question. When we write purpose or aims or rationale or research question, we can explain the goals and research objective of the study, and we can show the original contribution of our study. What is a contribution? We can write here, and from the purpose, it's provide a more detailed account of the point summarized in the introduction. And this purpose include a rationale for study, why the study is conducted. Hello, Mr. Yip. Yeah. From the purpose, we can get a clear description too, what our study will not address. Yeah, what we will do and what will not do in our research, we can get from the purpose. And then this is continued about purposes or aims of or rationale or research question. From this purpose, we can get a description, the research question or hypothesis of our study, include a subsection defining important term, and also state a limitation of the research. And from purpose, we provide a rationale for the particular subjects of the study. And the next part of a research proposal is a review of literature. From the review of literature, we write how other scholars have written about the topic. We can position what is the research have done and have not done, and then what is the position of our research. And the second one, the rings of theories, yeah, to use to analyze material or data. And then we can get to how other scholars connect their specific research topic, especially to larger issues, questions, or practice within the field. And based on review of literature, we can get the best methodologies and research techniques for our particular topic. For example, we have A methods and B methods. We can make description what is the best one, E or B, and then we can choose the best methodologies to conduct in our research after comparing the two of the methodologies. The function of review literature, we have many functions. The first one is situates the current study within a wider disciplinary conversation. Then we can illustrate the uniqueness, importance, and needs for our particular project. And also we can justify methodological choices and demonstrates many of theories, yeah. And then an effective literature review. The first one should flesh out the background of our study, critically assess important research trends or areas of interest. We can identify potential gaps in the knowledge, and we can establish a need for current and future research projects. And then when we drafting a literature review, there are many tips. We can make a categorize the literature into a recognizable topic cluster. For example, stake out the various positions that are relevant to our project, build on conclusion that lead to your project, or demonstrated the place where the literature is lacking. And we, from literature review, we can avoid comparing many statements from many research in literature reviews. For example, expert A says that, and then expert B says that. We can avoid them. And then we can avoid including all the studies on the subject. And also we can avoid polemics, praise, and blame. When we are writing literature reviews, we can entering a scholarly conversation already in progress. The literature review shows that we have been listening and that we have something valuable to say. After assessing the literature review in our field, we can able to answer. Welcome, Nick. Able to answer the question, Why should we study this research problem, and then what contribution will our study make to the existing literature? And then the next part of our research is about methodology. In methodology, we can introduce the overall methodological approach, and then we can indicate how the approach fits the overall research design, and we can describe methods of data collection. For example, we can use interview, we can use tests, we can use questionnaire and others. If we use tests, we should provide the reliability and validity of the test. The next step to methodology or methods is we can explain how you intend to analyze and interpret your research, such as statistical analysis and theoretical framework. And the next one, if necessary, we provide background and rationale for unfamiliar methodologies. And also we can address to potential limitation of our research. Tips on drafting methodology, or someone or some expert should write not methodology but research methods, because it's a subset of methodology. The first one, please break down our methodology into subsection. For example, in the social science, like us right now, these sections may include a selection of participants, interview process, profiles, interpretive and analytical framework, methods of qualitative, and etc. And the second tips, remember that our method section may also require supporting literature, and then we can anticipate and preempt the audience methodological concern. For example, knowledge measure problems, and then justify our approach by showing how benefits are with a potential problem. And then when we write significance or implication of our research, we should discuss the methodological, substantive, or theoretical contribution, and state the practical and theoretical importance of problem and objective of your study. And then we can explain the usefulness or benefits of the study to put off the outside world and the research community. For example, about significance and importance, my research on identity and development is innovative because it brings together analysis of many types of science, technology, engineering, mathematics, implementation in schools in Indonesia and Malaysia. I believe this research can be helpful to teachers and nations to concise and choose the best and suitable STEM model to be implemented in schools and the two nations. And then we should overview our chapters because some proposals include a sentence length description of each chapter. For example, chapter 2 review relevant literature, and chapter 3 discuss about the research methods or methodology. And other proposals include more in-depth reviews of body chapters that might include major hypotheses, arguments, methods, and also for its chapter. The next part of research proposal is timeline or plan of work. In this case, we should consult to our advisor, to our supervisor, and we also be aware of important dates for submitting and defending our thesis or dissertation. Sometimes the date there is a limitation. After this date, we can be expired student, for example. So we should aware about these dates, because when we became a student or we have status as student, we have a limitation time. For example, in Indonesia, for master degree, we have 4 semester, the limitation is 4 semester. And then we don't be overly ambitious, we should do something clearly, one by one, and do something confidently, but not be overly ambitious. And then we should remember that our proposed timeline demonstrates your awareness of the various elements of the study, like approval, travel, design, testing, and length of experiments, negotiation of entry into the study site. Sometimes we need permission for it, and then we should emphasize the purchase of necessary equipment, drafting and redrafting. And at the end of our proposal, we should write bibliography and appendix. In bibliography should include a working bibliography of key texts that inform our study and methodology. And in our appendix may include experiment diagrams, permission for human subject testing, instrument, and so on. And then for both bibliographies and required appendix tend to be discipline specific. We should know what the requirements are. It's based on the criteria from our university. And then we should emphasize about tone, or some of us say about a style of consideration. When conveying our attitude and our writing, please we should try to strike a consistently confident tone. We avoid apologetic or arrogant tone, and we should have a style consideration. For example, about coherent, we should move from old information to be new information. For example, when we should old theory, we can use new theory. For example, the theory of learning. And then we can put the most important information at the end of the sentence. This is a stress position. And then we can keep the subject and verb together. Sometimes only subject in the sentence, not verb, And we should make sure that in every sentence there is a subject and verb. And then we can start sentence with short, easily understood phrase. Yeah, this is a key point, understood phrase. Yeah, and we can use to stock transitional phrases to make one paragraph to another. And we can use pronouns too, and we can recycle many words or many sentences, yeah, to make a coherency. Sometimes if we use active voice, we should use I or we use we. For example, I will conduct the bulk of research during the 6-month fieldwork period. Sometimes we need not confident to use active voice. We can use a passive voice. When we use a passive voice, we avoid I or we avoid a subject we. For example, from this active voice, we can make a passive voice. The bulk of the research will be conducted during fieldwork. In the passive voice, this one, there is no I or no we, but all of word in this sentence, yeah, yeah, we can confident use passive one. Why we should use passive voice? Yeah, because in our field may prefer its use, especially in describing research design and experimental activities. It's recommended use passive voice. And in passive voice, we need to preserve coherency from sentence to sentence. And also in the proposal, we can use visual aids such as chart, graphs, diagram, illustration, wherever possible, permissible and practical. If the chart is very large or very long, yeah, we can take this visual aids in appendix. This is the end for research proposal, the part 1. We will continue in the part 2 about how to prepare your manuscript for publishing research result. This PowerPoint adapted from the PPT of Jaroslav. Thank you. And then we add this PowerPoint with our experience while we prepare our manuscript for publishing research result in international journal. Sometimes in research, yeah, this from Charles Darwin. Charles Darwin had said that naturalist life would be happy when if he had only to observe and never to write. Based on the Charles Darwin, research is for research, not for publication, we can say in other words. And in science, sometimes we have a feel, no matter how spectacular the results are, the work is not completed until the results are published. From the second word, we can say that sometimes we need a publication for our result. Without publication, yeah, maybe the work is not completed. And then for based on the two introduction as a sentence introduction, we can prepare our manuscript of our research project to make a publication. Then our reader or maybe other person can read what have we worked in our research. When we say about publication, or we have done conducting a research from idea, we conducting research from by way of rules. We make research as key to solve problem, and then we can publish the paper. Yeah, I'm sorry, we delay about 2 or 3 minutes because there are adhan here. Yeah. Okay, thank you. Let us start next. Oh yeah, from idea of a research problem, we make or we conduct a research as a case of when we solving a problem, and then after research we can publish our research result as a paper. And then in this PowerPoint we can discuss about kinds of scientific writing communication, scientific writing in general, and then IMRAT format that we can use in publishing research in international journal, then paper organization, paper writing, paper submission, editing process, proofread, and pointers of to reading. About paper submission and editing process and proofread, we will discuss in the next session. Yeah, Inshallah, we will discuss it in the next weeks or next weeks after next week. About communication of scientific writing, there are many forms to publish our research. The first form is report. Yeah, this is commonly reports when we conduct research. The second is we can make the report as thesis or dissertation, and this part is when we are as students, and then we should fulfill the final task to be a master or to be a PhD student. And then the third form is journal articles. We can make a book and book chapters too based on our research result. And then we can technical manuals if we produce in research and development, produce, for example, produce a machine or produce a media, and then we can write we can make a scientific written communication to research or grant proposal. We can make a site presentation, and we can make posters. When we have posters, we can join a conference to publish our posters. And in scientific writing in general, there are subject, purpose of audience. What is the subject? And about the purpose is to exchange the scientific knowledge, and then to ask and answer specific question about the research that have been done. And for audience, the scientists and this interest in the subject, and the audience is a publisher on an editor that will help us to publish our research result. And then when we will publish in international journal, sometimes we use IMRAT format. IMRAT stand for introduction, methods, result, and discussion. In introduction, we can describe what problem was studied, what others and you did, and your study area. And in methods, how do you did it, or how did you find out? And about result, we can discuss about what do your findings mean, combining with conclusion, summary, and future plan. Sometimes result and discussion not be separated. And then other types of our publication is journal papers. The journal paper we can write in many forms. For example, review, technical notes, letter to editors, and state of the art. Yeah. Example of other types of articles we can visit this web. Yeah. www. Yeah. egu.org. And then when we conducting a scientific journal writing, we have many steps. The first one from writer and co-writer. We should write first, and then the second one in journal editor. There are related with referency, and from journal editor when our article is published, also it what is that? It depend on reader, or it will be read by readers. About paper organization, the first paper organization is introduction. When we write introduction, we call attention to the specific subject, and then we define the problem. And from introduction to, we can provide background and present the results of other studies, for example, literature review. And then we can make a list to the structure of our research project and what we plan to present in our paper. This is the content of introduction. And then in methods part, IMRAT, yeah, the first IMRAT, introduction, the second methods. In the methods, it contain about many information, and from methods we can complete information of materials and methods used, conditions present, action, experimental design, and etc. And then from method, this section usually has subheadings. When possible, match those to be used in result. And then in the third one, in the methods, provide enough information must be given so that the model or experiment can be reproduced. And then from methods, we can ask college if she or he can follow the methodology. And the third part of IMRAT, yeah, result. The third one is about result. The result display of data with logical development showing display of data with logical development, showing how our findings satisfy our objective. Yeah. And then the second one, from result where possible, give illustrative examples and compare those with nouns result from literature. And then from result we can use table and figures to make a clear description about our result. And the full collects of fact, we can make a sentence, yeah, from Powell, yeah, the full collect facts, the wise men select them. Of course, when we have many facts of result, we can select what is the most satisfy of our objective research. The next part of paper about discussion. The discussion is the most hard, yeah, the hardest section to write, because make us to analyze and to make a synthesis about result, and we should positioning our research with the past research. And then from the discussion, of course, we discuss without just repeating of the result, but we should show the relationship among observed fact. Yeah. And the next one is about conclusion and we can say summary. Yeah, in summary, we state our conclusions clearly as possible, and this summarize, yeah, evidence for its conclusion, and become and with a short statement regarding the significance of our work. And then from literature review revisited, we can exploring ideas on our subjects between gaps in research on a subject of interest, and then we can get existence of any duplication to our work, and we can conducting a specific search manually in the library and also online learning, and we can keep up to date with a specific subject. And then we can ask to ourselves, will we have co-authors with journal to submit for our manuscript? How soon will it publish, and how to deal with editor? Maybe we can discuss this in the next weeks about publication of our journal, and also this slide, yeah. And about paper writing, we should write a rough outline first, and we should make sure that a rough draft is ready, yeah. A rough draft is ready, and then we can select the journal and read instruction, write final manuscript, write or refine our abstract, and carefully choose keywords. Yeah, we will discuss this one, yeah, broader in the next weeks, inshallah. And about the final draft, we should make sure about front matter, article body like imrat, and matter in the front matter. We should make sure about title, authors, abstract, and keyword. And in the end, we should, this is optional for acknowledgement, but references and appendix, we can use a note or Mendeley to make sure that the references write all of literature, or all of book, or all of journal that we can use in the body of our article. This is abstract. We can discuss this one in the next weeks, yeah, about citation. Okay. Thank you for all, and thank you for all of your attention. Is there any question about what we have discussed today about how to write the proposal and how to prepare manuscript? Or you can type in the chat room.